What's going on, you guys? Mr. Money1235 back here yet again. Here to talk about a special little album from our main drummer, Dave Rowntree, his debut album, Radio Songs. This has been a big, hyped up kind of release for me personally. I don't see it getting talked about a whole lot on fan sites, and I can understand. It's not like something, from Damon or Graham, for example. But I still thought it was pretty cool. When I initially heard London Bridge, the first single from the album, I wasn't really too sure what to think of it. I wasn't a huge fan of it at first. Um, Unpopular opinion about me, a little bit right here, is I've had a really hard time trying to get into some of Graham's solo music. Um, that's just an unpopular opinion. I know a lot of people love Graham's solo stuff. I haven't found myself to really be able to enjoy fully a solo album of Graham's. But of course, I try them out, and especially when Dave had his own project here, I was interested in that. Anything dealing with Blur, I'm gonna look into it. Um, so anyway, like I said, I listened to London Bridge, wasn't too sure what to think, didn't care for it that much at first. Then I went back to it a few times and kind of grew on me a little bit. And then the next single, Devil's Island, came out, and I fell in love with that at first listen. And I was just like, okay, this is something to actually keep a lookout on. And then, HK and Tape Measure came out after that. And then I was like full on like, okay, I'm excited for this album. This is going to be really, really cool. I wasn't sure what to expect based upon all those singles. I thought it was going to be like a plunky electronic kind of like weird kind of thing. The production on the singles anyway reminded me a whole lot of Everyday Robots era solo Damon Albarn. Some of like kind of the plucky kind of like loose sounding instrumentation and some of the electronics that kind of seem almost like random, but at the same time there's like some controlled chaos in there. Kind of remind me a bit of the production on Everyday Robots. But then the rest of the album dropped over the weekend, and it wasn't what I was expecting at all, because the rest of the tracks that hadn't came out yet are all really like slow burners. And at first I was a little disappointed in that because I was expecting more songs like Devil's Island or Tape Measure, but in the end, after listening to it quite a few times, I find this album to be completely emotional. I find it a beautiful, beautiful album. Something I would compare to like maybe Moon Shaped Pool by Radiohead. Kind of has this glisten kind of beauty about it. Yeah, just really, really grew on me really fast. Every single time I listened to the whole thing, I found it growing on me more and more, and that's still happening right now, and it's become one of my more recent album obsessions right now. I'm just really been enjoying it. The rest of the songs actually reminded me of the second Damon Albarn solo album, so I thought that was kind of interesting. It was like the slow burn kind of remind me of what Damon was doing on the second solo album. Um, Side note, it was also kind of clear to me with some other things too when they Dave put out a list of his 5 favorite albums of all time, and there were some electronic albums in there that I hadn't heard of. I think OK Computer by Radiohead was on the list, which is cool. But he also had Air on there. He actually listed this album, Talkie Walkie, as one of his favorite albums, which is kind of interesting because 1,000 Miles and Black Sheep on this album would fit in great on an Air album. This is not personally one of my favorite Air albums. My personal 3 favorite Air albums is Moon Safari, Pocket Symphony, and Love 2. Those are my 3 favorite Air albums. But Dave listed this one as his fave, which is cool. One of my favorite Air songs of all time are on this album. But anyway, like I said, 1,000 Miles and Black Sheep, I can tell that this man listens to some Air. And I thought that was really, really cool as well. So yeah, Devil's Island, great song. I love the production on that, with the kind of demo-y sounding drum beat that kind of starts off the track, and then the production just kicks in. I love the background vocals on that. Really, really cool song. That roar like lions, cry like lambs, die like lambs. I love the chorus on this song. Really, really epic track. Kind of has a, an epic feel almost. Downtown is next. A really big slow burn. Kind of has a melancholy feel. Use that Damon word, melancholy feel. Most of these tracks kind of have that feel on the slow burner side of things. But Downtown is a beautiful track. I love the string work on here. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous song. London Bridge is one of the few up-tempo moments on this album, which is really great. I love the guitar on there, especially near the end of the track. Really, really cool. 1,000 Miles, I like the drum beat on there. Has a really melancholy message. But gorgeous song. Gorgeous, beautiful, glistening. These slow burns are all just really emotional, and you kind of just fall into their world almost. It's hard to explain, but it's awesome. HK, like I said before, amazing instrumental. Kind of has like a really quiet dubstep kind of feel. It's not dubstep and hyping you up, but there's some really unique production on here, a really unique beat. It doesn't really follow a particular melody, but I just really love the influences going into there. And tape measure too, that Bollywood feel in the main melody of the song. I love tape measure. Another one of the few upbeat moments on this album. Machines Like Me is freaking gorgeous. I love the electronics on this track. I wish the track was actually 5 minutes longer than it actually is. It's one of those tracks that I just wish wouldn't end, because I just love the melody of this song, the electronic noises that he uses on here. Very addicting. I just love how this track moves. I can hear Sting on this track, I can hear like some early 90s Sting. Like if you put Sting's voice on top of Machines Like Me, I think he could pull that off. Like if Sting used like more electronic music in his work, I feel like he would fit well on that, which is great because I'm a big Police fan. I love solo Sting material that resembles this track, and that's just something I noticed. Black Sheep is a nice ballad, piano ballad. Once again, kind of has a lot of that air influence in there, like I mentioned before, which I think is great. Volcano kind of ends the album on this really kind of hazy, kind of breezy feel. And then Who's Asking, the actual closer on the album, is a really beautiful orchestral heavy instrumental closer, and it's great. This is just an amazing mood album, has a great tone to it. I've been listening to it like crazy, and yeah, I'm thoroughly impressed. As a drummer for one of the biggest britpop bands of all time, and this being his first outing at a solo project, I'm very impressed. I hope this isn't the last time that he does a solo album, because I really enjoyed this, honestly. Like I said, I hope he comes back, and I hope he does more. I know they're going to be busy with doing the Wembley shows. I'm hoping that this means a Blur album is going to be on the way. I know the boys are rehearsing right now for these Wembley shows and all these other shows that they've announced across Europe that I will not be out, unfortunately, because I live in stupid America. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. Dave Rowntree, I think he killed it on his debut album, and I've really been enjoying it. And I love the influences going on in this thing, and I hope he does it again sometime. We're going to be back soon for that Cracker Island review. Also going to be doing an unboxing of a few of the different editions of Cracker Island that I picked up for Gorillaz. That's probably going to come after the album review, because I had to order them from the UK Gorilla store because the US Gorilla store doesn't fucking work for me, so I'm probably not going to be able to unbox that until weeks after the album comes out, unfortunately, but I will still do a video on that. And I'm also going to be doing a video on Dave Rowntree's album that I just talked about here. I have a signed print, vinyl, and CD coming in for this album, so I will unbox that as well in the next video. So that should be here pretty soon, within the next 2 weeks or so. So I'll let you know. Thank you for watching. It's been fun to finally talk to you guys again. Mr. Morning 1 2 3 5. I'll see you guys later.